Hey, welcome back to Zeitgeist. I'm Zuri, here with Alistair.
And today we're talking about something that could affect a lot of people by tomorrow morning.
So, the federal government is about to run out of money, again. The deadline is Friday at midnight, that's tomorrow, and yesterday the Senate voted 45 to 55 to block the spending bill that would keep things running.
Wait, didn't we just have a shutdown? Like, recently?
43 days, the longest in American history. It ended November 12th, so we're talking less than 3 months ago.
And now we're back here already?
We are. But here's what's interesting. The reason this time is completely different, and it ties directly back to a story we covered last week.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. 2 people shot and killed by federal immigration agents in 3 weeks. Renee Good on January 7th, Alex Pretty on January 25th. We did a whole episode breaking down what happened, and now those deaths have become the center of a massive fight in Congress.
So how does a shooting in Minneapolis lead to the whole government potentially shutting down?
Here's the chain. There's a $1.3 trillion spending package that needs to pass. It covers 6 major areas: defense, health and human services, education, transportation, labor, and the Department of Homeland Security. DHS. That's the agency that oversees ICE and Border Patrol.
And Democrats are blocking the whole thing because of DHS?
They're refusing to pass DHS funding unless it's separated from everything else. Senator Chuck Schumer called the current bill, quote, woefully inadequate to rein in the abuses of ICE. Democrats want major reforms before they'll vote yes on DHS money.
What kind of reforms are we talking about?
4 big ones. First, they want ICE agents to wear body cameras. Second, they want to ban agents from wearing masks during operations, which has been a complaint in Minneapolis. Third, they want clear warrant requirements before agents can enter homes or approach people. And fourth, they want uniform use of force standards across all DHS agencies.
Those don't sound that controversial on the surface. Body cameras are pretty standard for police now.
Right. And Democrats are framing this as basic accountability. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto said the Trump administration deployed, quote, undertrained, combative federal agents without accountability. They're pointing to the 2 deaths in Minneapolis as evidence that something is broken.
So, what's the Republican position?
Republicans control the Senate 53 to 47. They're saying, pass the full package, don't hold other agencies hostage. The White House put out a statement saying they don't want funding to lapse for defense, for health and human services, for education programs. None of it. They're arguing Democrats are using this as leverage to obstruct immigration enforcement.
And Republicans need 60 votes to advance anything in the Senate.
Exactly. So even though they have a majority, they need at least 7 Democrats to cross over, and right now, they're not getting them.
So what happens if they don't reach a deal by tomorrow?
This would be a partial shutdown, not a full one. 6 of the 12 annual spending bills already passed. That covers agriculture, veterans affairs, justice, energy, interior, and commerce. So SNAP benefits, food stamps, those keep running. VA hospitals stay open.
But the other 6 departments?
Would start furloughing workers. Federal employees miss paychecks. Airport delays could get worse. TSA is under DHS. People might not be able to get federal home loans or small business loans. It's disruptive, but it's not the catastrophic full shutdown we saw in November.
Is there any deal being negotiated right now?
There is. The compromise being discussed would split DHS funding from the rest, pass everything else through September, but give DHS just a 2-week extension. That would buy time for actual negotiations on the ICE reform demands.
So kick the can down the road on DHS specifically.
Basically. The problem is, the House is on recess right now. Even if the Senate passes something today, the House would need to come back to Washington, which means even with a deal, we might technically have a shutdown over the weekend before everything gets signed.
Okay, let me make sure I understand the stakes here. Democrats are saying we will not fund the agency responsible for immigration enforcement until there are accountability measures in place. They're using their leverage.
That's their argument, and they're pointing to specific incidents, 2 deaths, agents in masks, no body camera footage released, as justification.
And Republicans are saying, don't hold the entire government hostage over a policy dispute. Fund the agencies, then have the debate.
That's their argument. They're saying enforcement operations are working, the agents are doing a dangerous job, and Democrats are playing politics with national security.
Neither side looks great in this framing.
Welcome to Congress. But here's what's actually significant about this moment. This is the first time in a long time that immigration enforcement itself has become a shutdown trigger. Usually it's debt ceilings or Obamacare or big ideological fights. This is about two specific deaths, and whether the agencies involved should face new oversight.
It's very concrete.
It is. And that's why it might actually produce real policy changes. When there are names and dates and video footage that people have seen, it's harder to ignore than abstract debates about border policy.
So we're watching to see if they reach a deal in the next 24 hours.
We'll know by tomorrow night whether we're looking at a weekend shutdown or if they found a way to kick this fight into February. Either way, the Minneapolis shootings just became national policy. That's a big shift.
We'll keep you posted. If you want to understand the full story of what happened in Minneapolis, we did a deep dive last week. Links in the description.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to stay in the loop. This is Zeitgeist.